Oh shoot, I was talking and didn't realize my mic was muted. I apologize. I apologize. How's everybody doing? Andre is in the house. What's up, uh, everybody? I see Olaf in the house. Oh shoot, I was talking. Uh oh, Olaf is in the house. What's up, you guys? Um, I don't have sunglasses on because I'm trying to be cool. I don't have these sunglasses on because I'm trying to be cool. I actually have them on for a reason. Um, and I will get to that reason in just a second. You gotta forgive me. Yeah, we're gonna talk about beta males. Um, I have these sunglasses on for a reason, and it isn't just because I'm trying to be cool or anything like that. I'm actually not trying to be cool. Um, I'm in some pain, some real pain. Uh, my back is killing me, and you know, it's an old injury that I'm dealing with. So I don't want to be wincing too much on camera, you know. So you could probably see it in my eyes when the pain kicks in. And I wasn't going to do a show because I was feeling some kind of way, but then I said, you know what, bump it. I'll do it. See if it'll work. So man, so I'm going to soldier through and just letting you people know. Anybody wants to join the chat, it's in the chat. How to jump in. We're going to talk about because of Tasha. Tasha asked me to talk about the myth of the beta male. So we're going to talk about that at some point. I'm going to get to that topic. But I wanted to talk about a couple of things tonight. Uh, I don't normally do a show where it's just me. What's up, Curtis? Maya, Olaf, Tasha, Andre, as well as Olaf. Oh, yeah, I said Olaf. I don't normally do shows where I just talk to the camera. I usually have like a co-host or I play off of somebody. And if somebody wants to come in, awesome. Feel free. I will chop it up with them. But you know what? I want to take a moment to chop it up with my audience here. So, what's up, Curtis? Um, you know, it's been an interesting few weeks here in the United States of America with the re-rise of COVID, with the unrest, with just personal stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like family issues and whatnot. And I don't know, man. It's just it's real crazy. I know a lot of people is out there not feeling well, you know, either it's physically or spiritually, emotionally, you know, and not everybody has somebody that they can lean on or talk to at this time. I'm fortunate. I do have that. I have a family that loves me. I have people that love me. So that's a good thing. Also, we have this community that we've all built here, this podcasting community, or we need to give our name. We need to give out a name to this community. We need like an official name of this community. You know, I don't know. Maybe we should come up with like 4 names, and then do a poll or something and let people vote on what the name of this community is. And I don't want to use like Get Vocal or any platform, because platforms come and go. But we want something that's going to last forever, or last until we don't want to deal with it no more. So, let's come up with a name for this community that we all exist in. Whether you are a Kente and the Casters, my ego likes that one. All right. My ego likes that one, but I'll push my ego to the side, you know what I'm saying? But and just so people know, I'm only wearing sunglasses because I'm having back issues, and I don't want to be wincing every 2 seconds, So that's why I have the glasses. I'm not Stevie Wonder or Ray Charles, or I ain't trying to be Jack Nicholson. But anyway, I'll reiterate it for more people come in, so they won't think I'm lost my mind. But anyway, I feel like we need to name our community, right? Because I think it's important, right? So whether you are a podcaster yourself like Dre, Curtis, Tasha, or you're a listener like Maya, D, anybody else who listens, we should do that. I think that'll be pretty good. So I'm just throwing that out there. All right, so let's get to the topic. And this topic comes in from Tasha. And if you have a topic you want me to talk about, feel free to kick it over to me, and I will do any topic. Any topic on this show, I will talk about anything, even stuff I don't like to even talk about. I'll talk about it. Okay. The myth of the beta male what are the myths? Are you a beta male? Some people say you're a beta male. Just the fact you got married makes you a beta male. Just the fact that you only go to bed every night with just one woman makes you a beta male. Now, I don't agree with that. Some of the most alpha males I've known were married, whether it be in my family or in other families, my father, my uncles, my grandfather, just other men I respected. So I don't think you're a beta male because you settle down with a wife. So that myth is not true, in my estimation. Another thing, beta males are all weak, like, not strong physically or whatever. There's some guys that can bench press a Prius that are very strong physically. I would say they're beta males. Physical strength doesn't make you an alpha male. You could say somebody has alpha male tendencies, right? You could say someone has alpha male tendencies. What's up, Dre?
Hey, man. How you doing?
I'm in pain, but I'm trying to do this. So that's why I had the glasses, y'all. I'm not trying to be like Jack Nicholson or something.
Yeah. All right. I do want to just shout out, well, not really a shout out, but address that whole marriage, men that get married are beta males.
Right. Please do.
You know that it takes an alpha to want to lead a family, to lead a tribe.
Right.
To be a leader in his home.
Right.
That is like the epitome alpha malerism, if that's a term or not. And if it isn't a term, I'm coining it now. Alpha malerism.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if a man wants to get married, he's already establishing himself as an alpha male.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Period. Who thinks that being married makes a man a beta male?
What up, Alex? You know, I hear that. That's like, you know, I had never heard that until recently in the last 3-4 years.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think we are, I don't want to say growing, but we are transitioning, and I don't want to say evolving either, because
Right.
evolving means that you have become better than the generation before. I don't want to say evolving either. We are transitioning into a more polygamous society.
Right.
So monogamy is no longer celebrated as much as it used to be. More and more people are leaving what people deem the traditional sense of family and relationships, and they are more open and free to do whatever they want. And like they had, I was in a discussion a couple of weeks ago online about the that human beings, their very nature is not to be monogamous.
Mm.
And it only became something because it was social construction.
Okay.
Like, people eventually was taught that. And then I had a question for them, and it stumped them. I said, so why is it that if monogamous relationships is something that was constructed by man,
Mm-hmm.
why is it that in remote tribes in like the Amazon or in the Pacific Sea, where they have these remote tribes that have almost zero contact with any other human life, that there's a patriarchal system with a husband, a wife, and kids? Why is that? If it was man-made, if it was a man-made construct,
Right.
then why does it exist in even the most remote tribes in the world?
Right.
So with that being said, if you are looking to be a husband and raise a family, you are an alpha male, period. Now, sometimes, bro, let's be honest, you can be married and wife could, cut the scrotum out from under you.
Right.
So, but being married really does, it has more evidence that you're looking to be an alpha male than a beta male, especially if you're looking to lead your family well.
Right. And it takes a lot too to like it's pressure, right?
Yeah.
It's pressure to be the head of a household, to be the man who takes care of his family and whatnot. And you can't be no weak man and do that. I've never been married, but I can appreciate men who they're not just married, but they take on the responsibility of being the man of the house and whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
So, and for that to be disrespected, is silly to me. I get it. If you don't want to get married, cool.
Yeah. But then the question is that if a married man's a beta male, then what's an alpha man? There's an alpha man that sleeps with women and have kids with women and duck out on child support, never see the kids again, not there to support the mother or the child. Like, is that what an alpha male is? Is an alpha male somebody who is out there looking to beat up their chest and look like a tough guy? Or is an alpha male the one who is going to take care of his tribe, protect his tribe, look out for and provide for his tribe, his pack, Let's talk about it.
No, I agree. I agree, man. Like, I think we have to redefine what manhood is.
Facts.
And we got to redefine what this whole alpha male is. Like, a lot of times people just put like, if you have a thug persona, that it's automatically like an alpha male. Are there some thugs that are alpha males?
Yeah.
Yeah. But just the idea of being a thug doesn't make you an alpha male. And I think, unfortunately, in our community, specifically the Black community, we kind of put that up on a high pedestal, you know, that kind of way of living life, you know.
Yeah.
And it's really kind of sad, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how I really feel. Like when you're a young man and you're in school, young black man,
Mm-hmm.
like there's only like a couple of paths to be cool. You know, it's like you could be that athlete, you can be a rapper, or you can be like that thug type cat. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know, and then if you don't fit in those boxes, it's almost like you ain't nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like a lot of young black males, they sit back and they see like, oh wait, this is what gets me the attention. This is what, you know, is revered. So that's the path I go down. Versus, you know, that we need to make having a strong intellect sexy. We need to make having you know, being you know, good solid citizens sexy, you know. She said that was who defined the beta male, you know.
Yeah.
I think we gotta redefine what a beta male and an alpha male is.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you know, that's the funny thing about the English language, that the English language morphs all the time. Words that meant one thing, like the word retarded was a clinical term, right? That was used to talk about people, you know, with slow mental health. Well, it became a dirty word. So, you know, it became a word to make fun of people.
Yeah.
So we stopped using that word, you know? And I mean, most of us stopped using it. You know, it's not cool anymore to use that word. Like,
no, it's not. Yeah.
You know, so the human language or the English language specifically morphs, you know, and things that was okay at one point is not, you know. Yeah. So, you know, the whole beta alpha male, why can't we change it? Since we got rid of the word retarded.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Can we do that with the beta male, alpha male, redefine what it is? You know, it says we let terms define our behavior without checking the origin of the term. Amen. Yeah. Well done. Hey, and Carlos, if you can hop in, bro. Yeah, it's really interesting. It's kind of sad though. Like, I used to be a part of like mentorship programs with young people, like through sports. I did. And through other things. And I really haven't in the last several years. And that's something I feel like, especially, you know, if we get to a point where we can, you know, don't have to social distance as much. I would like to get back into that because it's so important, man. Like I think I turned out to be a good cat, right? For the most part.
Yeah.
Some people might disagree, but I think I turned out to be a good cat. The way I became a good cat was first, my parents raised me very well, but I had a strong village, man. Like I had a village, you know, like my village was killer. Like, it's like, I didn't appreciate it until I got older. And I was like, man, I had a hell of a village. And unfortunately, a lot of us don't have it, you know, coming up, don't have that village, don't even have in the home. So, you know, and we just got to make that village strong again, you know, and
make it okay to be in a village, right? Not like, you know, a supportive village, not where, you know, we're sitting on, you know, the stoop corners and getting into stupidness,
right?
You know, like really, you know, what do we need to do for one another to see each other come up,
right?
Yeah.
So how do you pronounce your first name? You want to take a crack?
Andre. No, I'm kidding.
Is the N silent? If you can, I don't want to mess up your name, but she says that she has the village as well. So if you want to put it out phonetically, so I don't want to say it wrong, but you know, because I know people be butchering my name all the time. Marisol is in the house. What's up, Mari?
Marisol.
Yes. So, but yeah, man, we gotta, you know, and it really bugs the hell out of me as a brother when we don't do that. Yugosi. Okay. Okay. If I said it, please tell me if I said it right. Yugosi. But you know,
Right.
we gotta do it. We gotta step up. And please give me a thumbs up if you like this conversation so far. Give me a thumbs up in the chat. So
Well, what if we ask some of the women to define what they feel an alpha male is and what a beta male is?
oh, that'd be great. Ladies, put in the chat what you I want to hear from you how you view alpha males and beta males. For sure. Kedra's in the house. And we will read your comments and post them on the screen. How do you guys feel beta males and alpha males? So now you are father of three sons, and now a grandfather of a daughter, right? Granddaughter. Grandson. Okay, my bad. Granddaughter. So there's a lot of male energy in your family, man.
Yeah.
A lot, man. You know, it's like somebody's gonna have a girl just to balance it out. You know, sometimes it only takes one girl to be added in the mix to balance it out.
Everybody out, because she could be that alpha female.
Right. What's up, Anthony? You know, so somebody gotta add a girl to the mix. But but one thing I noticed about your boys, now I don't know them personally, so I only see them from afar from the videos and stuff.
Yeah.
They seem like they're good citizens. You know, I'm sure they're not perfect. I know they make mistakes and whatnot, but at their core, they seem like good citizens.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, you got to give their parents, you and their mom, a lot of credit. You know that you guys
or me and their mom. No, I'm kidding.
Well, you know, I didn't want to, you know.
Yeah.
But no, man, like the raise three good citizens is big, man. Like in this crazy world in New York, where there's all those distractions.
Well, my 12-year-old's turning 13, so I still have to work on him to make sure that he can get out of high school as a good citizen.
Right. And he seems like he's there, man.
Yeah, he is.
He seems like he's there, man. And kudos, man, because it's hard, you know. Even if you look, the best thing you could do as a parent is give them the tools to be great people, and then hope and pray that they follow it. Yeah. You know, because look, not every kid that goes astray doesn't mean that their parents were terrible parents.
Yeah, true.
So you know, so they were great citizens, and they obviously was raised well. Okay, so Kedra says alpha male has a dominant personality, sure of what he wants, direct. Okay. You know, Adrian. Oh man, Adrian Ibarra. That's the homie right there from Chicago. I haven't seen Adrian in a minute. He just came up in the spot. Adrian, we got to chop it up, bruh. It's like old home week, you know, with Adrian. Adrian used to be a sponsor for one of my podcasts. Okay. So me and him, man, we used to talk all the time. I haven't talked to Adrian in too long. And when I was in Chicago, I didn't get a chance to see him. So because he lives in one of those suburbs, you know what I'm saying? So where you got to make a trip, you know, to get to there. Beta male lives their lives based on the values and vision of other people. Interesting. They seek validation at every turn, and because they lack self-reliance and a strong sense of personal identity, they fall into patterns of neediness and approval-seeking behaviors. That is
now. So, Keisha, let me ask you a question: is that the beta? Because usually, so when we look at, we get the terms from wolves, usually from animals and from packs. So we all know that the alpha is the top dog in the pack. The beta is number 2. Usually the beta is usually the physically stronger one. Like this is the one that everybody underneath the beta falls in line. So like the beta doesn't answer to anybody under him except for the alpha. And according to in the definition as far as pack animals are concerned, you have the alpha and then the beta. So would the beta really be in that specific category?
You know, it's funny when I started to read this. For some reason, I thought it was going to say beta male lives matter. When I just a lot,
they do though.
Yeah,
they do. They matter too.
Yeah,
but that's dope. I appreciate that she wrote that because that's
man. Thank you, Kedra. Thanks, Kedra. Are women okay? I've talked about this before. There's two kind of guys, right? That I mean, there's a lot of kind of guys, but mainly there's two big categories. There's the women that there's the men that women, the guy that makes sense, right? This guy. What's up, Ryan? You can hop in, Ryan. There's the guy that makes sense, right? Yeah. There's the guy that you know, that if he says he's gonna pick you up at 8, he's gonna be there at 7:40. You know, he's the guy that when he comes home from work, like he works by 30 minutes from the house. He's gonna be at home at 5:30, and he's gonna apologize if it's 5:40, right? That that guy that you can set your clock to. But then there's that other guy, and I refer to him as the drummer, and that's from a old show we did. The drummer guy. That's the guy that he's a wild card. You don't know what he might do. You know, he's supposed to pick you up at 8. This mug might come in at 9, with some BS excuse, right? And then you got that guy who, that guy that's like women are a lot of times are real passionate about because he's exciting and all of that stuff. So I feel like a lot of times women or society, let's just be honest, society will put put that guy who is the exciting guy, the drummer guy, he's an alpha male, right? The guy that, he's a kind of a jerk. You can't set your clock to him because he's always throwing you a monkey wrench or a curveball. And then they make that guy who you can count on that you could set your clock to as a beta male. And I think that's unfair. I think that's kind of
agreed.
Yeah, it's like, and you know what I'm talking about. They do make that guy into he's a beta male, the guy that you can trust, the guy, the guy that he might be a little corny, maybe he ain't as funny as the drummer guy. The drummer guy is hilarious, right? Yeah. So are we looking at that guy wrong? The guy that you can count on, he's gonna never miss your birthday. He's never gonna be like, he's never gonna be never gonna miss your birthday. He's gonna remember every anniversary. He's gonna come home with flowers. Is that guy a beta male? Are you a beta male because you're that guy?
I'm gonna let them answer.
Please, ladies, tell me.
That's the man you need to marry. That's right.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. Tiffany Hall's in the house. Oh my God, Jerry Newsom's in the house. Jerry is a personal friend of mine. He used to be my neighbor for many years, but I've known him my whole life, and he just came up in here. So what's up, Jerry? And Tiffany, who was on the show last night. So, but okay, he says alpha and beta is superficial.
What do you mean?
Yeah. What do you mean by that? Hop in, Ryan. But I think
does he have the link for the stream?
Yeah, it's in the I posted it in the chat. Cool. So it's a pinned post, but I'll put it back in there. I think he's a consistent man, and I appreciate consistency. So, ladies, let me be honest. Do y'all really appreciate consistency? Not you, D, because I believe it. You said you do. Do you guys really appreciate it, or do you want a guy that kind of, keeps you on your toes, like you don't quite know what he's doing? Is that exciting to y'all? Be honest. Be real honest. because it just, I don't know. It's like, is he boring? Does that make you boring, being that super consistent guy that what he's going to do? If he goes to Jamaica with his friends, he ain't cheating. That other guy, you don't know. You don't know what he's doing in Jamaica. You like, but consistent guy, if he's going to Jamaica from work, he's going there for work. I guess you guys would appreciate a guy who's not cheating on you. But let's see. Yes. That's where a woman really wants deep down inside, but she has to be mature enough to know that's the better man. Interesting. Consistency is the best. Can't trust a man I'm unable to figure out. And then I want to feel safe. So I can appreciate consistency, but someone can be consistent but spontaneous. That's my preference. Can you be both consistent and spontaneous?
Yeah. You can be consistently spontaneous.
like Ryan, what do you like? Like I said, that guy that
official thing.
Like Ryan, you seem like that guy that if you said you're gonna pick a girl up at 8, you're gonna probably be there at 7:40. Is that you?
Yeah, sometimes.
Right. So when you know what somebody is gonna do, or you feel like
you put an alpha dog.
Yeah. It's a joke because I really don't believe in. I think that's a mental construct. But I think consistency is important, especially when I think if we get metaphysical, like I think consistency, there's a rhythm, and I think that there's rhythm in everything. God is a rhythm. How he makes and how God governs the universe. Everything is based on a rhythm and a vibration, and vibrations are consistent. There's expected outcomes. When you can't expect when someone's going to do something, you can't predict what they're going to do, really makes it hard for you to imagine them in your life. You can't build anything with them because they're the ones in control. And I think that, the alpha concept is based off of patriarchy concepts. And, in our societies, in the indigenous people's society, the alpha did not exist in that way. Women didn't even hold the last names of their partners. That's a European concept because, in the 1100s, you had a man and a woman. They could not, in England, the woman could not buy property. She could not, like the unit was considered one under that, institution. And a woman lost her last name and became, the man's property. So, on that concept alone, that's what creates the alpha male. Because you are a person that is providing for someone that is your property. So I don't subscribe to that. And that's how, when you look at the pimp game and you look at how if you read a lot of these books, like I think what's his name?
Tariq Nasheed?
Tariq, he wrote, I read his book, and yeah, he had, it's like pretty much the Mac, he pretty much had a systematic way of dealing with women, and he had, just like slavery, he had human classifications for each woman and how they would respond. He knew their outcomes. He knew, and then he had a strategy plan on how to engage them so that he could have control over them. And we use this game, and that's called alpha because, we are the one that set the stage. And I don't believe in that social construct. I feel it's really demeaning. And I feel like, relationships ebb and flow. And alpha really exists in animals in certain species, like dogs. Dogs, you require an alpha, because you need that one leader that can defend the pack. You need that one leader that can tell the dogs where to go. But if you ever watch dogs, dogs shift their alpha.
Mm-hmm.
Some dogs who are stronger in certain areas will come up in the front and they will lead their pack. So we have to get out of that, European, property mindset and actually start looking at things differently.
Is there a difference between that alpha that you're speaking of and the patriarchal system established for family?
Did you say? Can you ask that question one more time?
So, is there a difference between alpha being an alpha in the family and a patriarchal family system?
I don't think that there's a difference. I think that being a provider is so contrary to who we are as individuals. I think that because when they're talking about, when you even look back in history, they had hunters and gatherers. Hunters and gatherers. Some were going out there hunting. The women were gathering. And they were all working together as a collective unit to feed the family and to provide for the family. And if you look back at some of the African tribes, women are chopping down trees. Not in Africa. Go to Australia. Australia, the women are out there, busting some energy, chopping trees and providing for their families and the indigenous women of Australia. So, we are so.
Where were the men at that? Where were the men during?
I don't know what the men were doing because I think that there are. I didn't study the whole tribe and what they were doing. I just saw a video of some of the women out there doing some of the work. So, I mean, every person in these tribes had specific roles. But they protected each other. It was a community. In this society, we are confined by our social construct, and then you have to have a leader or someone in control to keep things together. And I personally don't believe in that concept. The beta male who just lets a woman walk all over him, is that considered a beta male, or a guy that just would rather? Yeah,
I mentioned that before. Like the thing is, a beta in pack culture and animals, nobody runs over the beta, and that's the thing. That's what I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
The beta is number 2. So for you to get to the alpha, you have to get through the beta, and usually the beta is not going to let you through.
Mm-hmm.
So for you to get to be an alpha, you need to go through the beta. Like the beta doesn't answer to anyone but the alpha. Everybody underneath the beta, in that I guess contract that you was mentioning, they don't run over the beta. Like there's nobody running over the beta, and not even the alpha. The alpha, orders the beta, but no, they don't really run over the beta. Like the beta is a very strong character in pack culture.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let me ask this question: Look, of course, you can't give. There's a lot of different women who have different wants, but we're saying the vast majority. What do women want? Do they want a guy who is a quote unquote alpha, who, the way that it's been described in the chat room,
Ryan, real quick. I'm sorry, Kente. Ryan, when you look at Kente, don't you expect like a deep baritone, like Barry White, to come like right now with the shades on and the lights in the background? Like, don't you expect?
Yeah, he was ready for this conversation tonight. He's like, man, I put my alpha shades on.
It's funny. The reason why I'm wearing the shades, I said it earlier, is I have a back issue. So, wait, does CMOS help with back issues?
Yeah, it does. Herbs will help you with your back issues, and CMOS a little bit too. But
I don't want to look like a beta male wincing in pain. So every 2 seconds when I get a little, so. But yeah, but no. So that's funny. So. Okay, so what do women want though? Like, do y'all want the quote unquote alpha males that has been described, and like what kind of male is most gonna be successful when it comes to the art of attracting women? Thank you. Can
Who's that question for?
For anybody, like you know, like, okay, what do you think? What do you think is the thing when women like you that they're attracted to you? For Ryan, we'll start with you.
It's confidence. You know what I'm starting to learn? I think the Black Lives Matter movement taught me a lot about women, and especially Black women, because like I had so many of our sisters ready to just fight, and they were just like, I'm gonna go out there and march. You coming? And here I am, like, I don't know if I'm gonna come because I have work, blah blah blah, da, 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 blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to work it all out. And women were just like, they're right. Like, I feel like women are in the zone. You know, they're confident, and they're the vibration between their thought and what they believe is like so close together. You know what I mean? It's not spread out apart. I think men tend to have we tend to be more calculated, and we're trying to figure everything out, and women are just know. And I think that women want a man that has confidence, that just thinks in the moment, just like in the moment, and makes a decision. You know what I mean? And you know, and then obviously I think for partnership, it doesn't matter if it's man or woman. I think consistency matters. Right. But I think it's the confidence and the honesty, because you could be a player or someone, because I was just talking to someone on, you know, we were just having a conversation about being introverts and dating. And she was like, you know what, like some people have bigger pictures in their life, and they need multiple relationships because they serve a bigger purpose in their life. Right. And I dig that. Not everybody, some people have boundaries, mind you, and some people don't want to be the only one in a person's lives. But for the very idea that, you know what, you know, you're honest about the fact that you want to have multiple relationships, or you want to be in an open relationship. I think a lot of dudes play that alpha game. You know, they play a game. It's a game, right? It's a pimp game. Because they leave out information, they say everything that the woman wants to hear, and then they get what they want, and then leave the woman stranded. And I don't believe in that. I've always been you know, if I said to a woman I wanted to be in an open relationship, I said it. I was just honest. You know what I said? If I wanted to, you know, if I had financial problems or I was just going through stuff, I just say it, because for me, I don't care what you think about me, you know. And obviously humor too, because I'm not a woman. I can't speak for them. But for me, what has worked for me is that I'm honest. You know, if things are not going right, or I'm still talking to an ex or whatever, I just say it. I'm just honest. And if you don't want to deal with me, you don't want to deal with me. And it's so odd that, you know, women will still deal with me because they know where I'm at.
Interesting. Okay. What about you, Dre? What's the thing that you feel like when women are attracted to you that they like the most?
It's this what they're attracted to is the one thing that they wind up wanting to go elsewhere for, and that's, I guess, the fact that I am as dedicated to my kids as I am. So, you know, it makes me look like, and yeah, I'll say it makes me look like that. You know, okay, that's the guy I want to end up with. He's a good father. He's present. He has custody of his kids. You know, he'll probably take care of me and my kids also if I have kids. But then also, you know, when it's time to do certain things, I'm calculated. I can't just go out and, you know, put down $400 on a night because I got bills to pay and a roof to keep over my kids' heads and clothes to make sure that they have, and sneakers and stuff like that. So, so it's for me, it's a two-edged sword. They appreciate and like and are attracted to that part of me. But when I have to get down to my dad mode and say, no, I can't do that right now because my funds need to go to more important places right now, they feel like they aren't as important and they want to leave. So it's sort of like a two-edged sword for me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Always take them on a Chipotle date.
Yeah. Chipotle, we're going for a walk, we're going to ice cream.
Okay.
That's day one.
Day
one and ice cream. You got to graduate to Chipotle.
Oh wow!
Then if you play your cards right, we may go to Olive Garden. and then,
Wow,
and,
man.
and if you keep it up, all right, we may go to a nice fancy steakhouse. And there's levels to this. There's levels to this. Okay.
Oh wow. I guess I'm doing it wrong. I've been taking Chipotle pretty early, so
With your sunglasses on and
right, man. I'm taking
And you know what? Chipotle's not one of those places you want to take a date. I'm gonna tell you why. Some women believe that you can't eat all your food up on the first date. Right? So you go to Chipotle and they'll get this like the big burrito and then not eat half of it, and then you just wasted your money.
Because they don't look like a greedy guy.
We gotta be smart. We gotta, and I think like a dad. Like I'm trying to make sure that I'm not wasting my money frivolously.
I'm writing this down. I'm writing this down, Drake.
Right.
He's got it broken down into science.
Yeah.
What's up, Javier and Dolores? Just came in. And Javier, hop in if you feel inclined. Okay, so that's interesting though. Confidence is everything, man.
Yeah.
Like you want to always portray confidence, even if you ain't really that confident. You know, like you definitely don't want to come off like you're not. You know, so there's times where I've been really. Wait, what she said? I guess I do it all wrong because is she gonna eat that burrito?
You know what though? If she eats everything on the first date, she's most likely a keeper because she's not about trying to put a mask on day one.
Do you know
if she's gonna eat all her food? Probably somebody you want to keep around for a long time.
Do you know that it's quite common nowadays that women will just date you for a free meal, and it's been a very consistent. It's like a trend now on Tinder. Like women will, just so they can get a meal, they'll go on a date for the first date. So that's why, I'm like, coffee, sure, walk, sure, but you want to see, where they're inclined to go because. Some are just looking for a free meal. They have no interest in you. They just know how to pimp the game.
Yeah. I think that's that. You're very right, very true. And there's some women. I was told one time that she when I wanted to go for a walk the first time we got together and just get to know each other. She said we're not going to go anywhere nice to eat. I said, well, no, not yet. She said, well, I'm worthy of it. I feel like I deserve it. I said, you might. I just don't know that yet. And when we get there. You got to let me see that in you. Let me see that worth in you. Like I respect you off the rip as a woman. I give you that respect and I will honor you. But don't think that me spending, $300 on the first night of meeting you is honoring you. Because if you expect that, you're not honoring me.
Right.
So let's get to know each other first. And let's get there. And Ryan, I agree. Like my big thing is this, and I think I mentioned this to you before, Kenta. You probably heard me say this. I am not trying to give my wife something that I've given other women. When I remarry, all right, and when we go to nice, expensive places, my wife is going to know that she is the only one that received this kind of treatment from her husband and be confident in that. I don't ever want to go somewhere and my wife is thinking in the back of her head, I wonder if he did this for somebody else. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I believe in having nice, amazing experiences and definitely coming out of my pocket when the time is right, but the treatment that my wife is going to get is going to be exclusive to her when we get married, and nobody else is going to have that. And I say that from the very beginning, so there is no surprises. If I pick you up and we go to a nice spot and just know that the reason why you're getting that is because I'm seeing something in you and I want this to go to another level.
So you know what? Because I have to speak for those of us who do not represent the type of women you're talking about. Because we need to set the record straight and show that we're not all like that. Because Kente knows this. I've talked to him about this. I always suggest coffee first. I don't believe in spending all that.
Yes, Natasha. Yes.
Time and get to know people. I actually, I was very young, said my dream date would cost no money. Take me for a walk, have a picnic in the park. I'm all about that kind of stuff. Not
There you
all of
go.
us women are trying to get a free meal because confident women and real women can pay for our own damn meals. Okay. So let me set the record straight that we are not all out there trying to get a free meal. I don't need a man to buy me a meal.
Yeah.
I want a man to do something for me that I can't do for myself. I can feed myself, and anybody could see. You can't see all of me, but if you saw my size, you know I eats well.
Yes, you go.
So I just need to point it out that we are not all like that. I'm sure there are women like that, but the majority of the women I know, because I know some real sisters, we ain't like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's a general comment on all women. I think it.
I just need to defend those of us who are not like that. I didn't think you guys were saying women were like that 100%. I didn't take it like that at all.
Yeah.
Right. I just felt the need to pipe up and say something about that. Yes, Maya, because this is what happens. My perspective is I see a lot of high maintenance. What's that word? Ratchet women. They get dates all the time, and those of us who can stand on our own or have opinions, much harder to get played.
Right.
Because men would rather buy a meal but deal with fluff.
But here's the thing, though. When we're talking about that alpha male, if they're willing to have that bravado and then put money out like that, and then not for a woman who expects that, like, you know, that's their pattern, right? Where they want guys to keep buying them free meals, and then they have a woman like yourself, Natasha, and they can't handle you. They've proven not to be that alpha male. They're not an alpha male if they cannot appreciate. Because I don't want to say like deal with or handle, appreciate a woman of your caliber. They're not an alpha male. So you know what? That makes me think. I'm gonna do some thinking about this. These men that are out there buying free meals for women that expect it are really like sub-level pack animals. Like,
yeah, but you're right, because it's manipulative, right? Because you know, the same thing with dogs, right? You do that with dogs. You give them treats to no, but
you know what? I think it's reverse
good behavior. And these guys are throwing up money, like, you know, because they want to buy. And there's so many women that I know, and women that have been on my show, Monica included. Like, you know, these guys are hitting her up in her DMs, want to do this, want to do that, and they're just flexing, right? They have no game. And therefore, it's like, no, women are not. First and foremost, if you really care about your time, you want to, you know, whether you're a man or a woman, you want to get a good assessment of the person, because I value my time. I don't want to be spending the only little time that I have being an entrepreneur with someone that is going to ruin my night, right? So you want to take an assessment of someone, you know, and get to know them and you know, have a good chemistry with them before you take them out on a date and whatnot. But I think for other dudes, I think, you know, they play this as a game. Right.
But it depends what your goal is. If your goal is to get to know someone and make a real connection, you're going to approach it that way. If your goal is to find somebody to help you get off so you don't have to do it on your own, you have a totally different approach. And some people are willing to buy a meal to help get them to that end.
You know what? But see, this is what I do is my attitude about dating is I think I said this last night, is I like to do what I like to do for fun. So either way, I'm doing what I want to do. So if it's go to a nice restaurant, I wanted to go to that nice restaurant anyway. So, and it's nothing wrong with having a woman as, you know, accompanying you. I ain't about to drop $300-400, but we're not doing that. But you know what I'm saying? But we can have a nice meal at a nice restaurant and not spend, you know, $1 million. But so what I do is I always feel like, so I never feel like I'm being played or anything, because I only did what I wanted to do anyway. Right. So, you know, it is what it is. So, you know, so I don't feel like she's taking advantage of me, taking her to Chipotle, because I love Chipotle. So, you know, so, hey, man.
I want to pick up this Chipotle place for the next time I cross the border, because you always talk about it.
I love me some Chipotle, man. Chipotle is nice, man. I made my own Chipotle. You know that, right?
Yeah,
I made my own. I put it on Instagram and Facebook, y'all. But but anyway, I'm gonna start doing copycat recipes, y'all. So anyway, but I don't know, like, yeah, you're a fool if you dropping major dough to try to get some girl's attention or something like that. It shouldn't be that hard.
And what does dropping all that money have to do with getting to know somebody? As a woman, I don't need a man to validate my worth because I know my worth on my own. And I don't need lots of money flagrantly spent to have that proven. I think I can figure out more from a dialogue if he understands who I am and what my worth is, rather than him throwing away a few bucks. Because if he borrows money to prove to me or does whatever and spends all kind of money to prove to me my worth, if he doesn't have the ability to sustain it, does that mean he values me less?
Yeah.
Right.
That's not, to me, that's not a decent way to measure worth. And I think that women, we've got to be cautious about getting caught up in that dialogue. I also think that I don't necessarily want a guy who thinks that we're going to have drive-through meals every time either. I would like to know if he's going to take me to a meal, he wants to take me to a nice meal, but it doesn't always have to be that way. The reason I would insist on a restaurant first is because I ain't bringing you to my house and I ain't going to your house right away, because we don't need to be that familiar that too early. But at a time where, so I would rather have the date in public, but I don't think you need to spend big money to prove worth. I think there's lots of other ways we can show people that we value who they are and we know their worth.
I agree.
Natasha, where's your family from?
Pardon?
Where's your family from?
My mom's Jamaican. My dad's from St. Kitts.
Okay.
You
I was getting an island vibe from you. That's why I asked.
Yes. I was born in Canada, so I typically just say I'm West Indian or Caribbean because given my parents are from different islands, it's a bit of a mouthful to say I'm a Jamaican Canadian condition. And so I don't bother to say all of that. I just say I'm Caribbean.
That's interesting too with you, just as a side note, is I just think of you as Jamaican Canadian.
No, but my dad's Kittian.
Right, but you never talk about that aspect of your.
That's because my dad's the quieter personality. So my mom with the bigger personality. That's what I identify more with because I grew up with more influence of the Jamaican side of me. But like my dad's family is very large. And so I spend a lot of time with my Kittian family. We're all over the globe. And it's, for Caribbean people, they know there's always this big island versus small island debate. St. Kitts is so small, it doesn't even always make it on every world map. So I can't get into the big island, small island debate because we're so small, we don't even reach on every world map. So, but I'm more aware of my Jamaican side, but above that, identify as West Indian because there's values that we hold as Caribbean people, regardless of what island we're from, that stand true, I think, across the Caribbean.
I have a question.
Sorry.
You mentioned that your father was the quieter personality and your mom was the loud, like the more brighter personality. Did that affect how your father operated in the family as far as like an alpha?
Oh, there was no attempt at being an alpha. My mom thought she was alpha. And I remember having a conversation with her where we talked about the head of the household. And she goes, well, your father's the head of the household, but I'm the head too. And I said, anything with two heads is a monster. So you got to pick one and leave it alone.
Yeah.
That I love that. That is
yeah.
That is true, man. Anything with two heads
is a monster.
People's lives matter.
It's quite common in the Caribbean community for the woman to be the head of the household.
Yeah, very much so.
At my grandma,
and
my
what
mom.
My parents have works for them, right? Like they've been married for 46 years and they're the best of friends. So, sometimes I think they need timeouts from each other, but I don't know what wife and husband don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes. But what they have works for them. So I can't tell them how they should run their marriage.
Okay. That's interesting. So the reason why we were doing this topic, it was requested by Natasha. And I just was wondering, I was on your show, your program, and you did kind of bring that up, the alpha male thing.
You brought it up.
Was it me?
It was you.
Okay, I don't remember that.
We were talking about being black and male in North America, and part of what you'd raised was the whole concept of the alpha male. Okay. And then that conversation kind of snowballed in the bigger conversation.
Okay, my bad.
That's
right. So I brought it up.
Yeah, because truthfully, I have trouble. I don't feel like I can really define what I think is alpha or beta male. And I like when you were saying earlier, what does a woman want? I want somebody who's consistent, but I think you can be consistent and spontaneous. And I know for me, because I'm my mama's child, I got a big, bold personality. I need somebody who's not intimidated by that and who can celebrate it, because I have many talents, and I need somebody who can recognize that and not feel less than, because I have no desire to make any man feel less than, but I have to walk in the gifts that God gave me. So if he can't celebrate that, he's not the right man for me.
Preach.
Go ahead. Okay. All right.
Preach.
All right. So welcome to the chat room, Carrie. Is that how you pronounce your name? Carrie?
Carrie.
All right. Okay, so that's interesting though. I mean, this is a great conversation, one that needs to be had. I feel like we made some ground on the conversation and we solved everything, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Think.
I don't think you can solve anything in one conversation.
You don't think we solved it?
One conversation.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, you know, I think it's a mental construct, because now that Natasha's here, you know, and her talking about her family and stuff like that, it's like, now I think about it, that's probably why I look at it the way I do, because all the people, the leaders that I look up to are all women in my family, because I was raised by women, all of them. You know, dad wasn't around, and, you know, and, you know, and when my mom did date and have boyfriends and stuff like that, they were happy to be, you know, like, my mom is a leader. She delegates everything to everyone. She's in management. So, you know, she'll delegate you to go and change the channel when she's sleeping and you're doing something downstairs. She'd be like, Ryan, you come upstairs. Hand me the remote. Okay. And then I'm changing the channel for my mom. You know, my mom delegates everything. But, you know, the thing is that, you know, I've always had respect for my mom, and it didn't make me lesser of a man, you know, to let women lead. You know, I'm smart. I think that, you know, I go with the flow. I'm not someone that will want to take control where I don't need to. And it also comes from my martial arts background as well. You know, you're humble, and you know where to apply, you know where you need to be assertive and take leadership, and you know when to step back, you know, and I roll that way, because like in martial arts, it's to say you have to approach, sometimes you got to approach things with an empty cup. Empty cup meaning, like, if you got a full cup, you know, eventually that cup is going to overflow, right? And sometimes you just want to learn from somebody. Sometimes someone's giving you something that you just need to stand back. And sometimes I like to stand back and I like to watch, but that's just my character. And maybe that is environment, maybe it was nurtured, maybe that's how I was raised. But I don't like to always take control.
Really, I love taking control.
I do both. I can, you know.
I think it's important to be able to do both, because there's going to be situations where you shouldn't be in control, and there's going to be situations where it's maybe better that you're the one directing the ship. But I think if you do not have the ability to be led, there's going to be an issue. Or if you expect to always be leading and not in the opposite, that's going to create an issue too. So I think there has to be room for both.
I prefer to be with my hand on the tiller. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I always say this. Like, this is what my father said. If you're gonna be on the Titanic, be the captain that drives it into the iceberg. Don't be one of the passengers. Be that guy that, you know what, at least when you're dying, you can say, I did this. How big of a fool you feel like you were following somebody that rammed it into it. So I'm just saying,
I get it.
I prefer to have my hand on the steering wheel. You know,
I never get in a car with you, by the way, Kente, because we're talking about happily
or
driving.
I don't think I'm ever going to fly a plane again. I'm done.
I'm just saying, like, if I gotta be on
I'm gonna get on a plane with my carry on, put it in the overhead compartment, knock on the pilot's door, and say, "Listen, I got this. Inside, I'm gonna take over from here."
I'm just saying, like, I prefer to be the one with the hand, and I feel better
Yeah.
You know, like I'm one of those kids. I mean, I've tried to sit back. There's been a lot of times where I've tried to sit back and just let, you're in a group, right? And it's like an event or something, and they're like, we need somebody to step up to the plate to quarterback this. And I've tried to be like, okay, I'm gonna just sit back and let everybody do their thing. And then I'm sitting back, nobody's putting their hand up. So I'm one of those people that I guess is something inside of me where I'm like, all right, I'll do it. And then everybody goes, oh, you always want to be in charge. I'm like, look, I let y'all take a shot at the crown.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to take the crown, so I had to take it. It is what it is.
I can relate to that because I'm the type of person when they're like, okay, who's going to be the leader for this group? I get a lot of people looking at me, and sometimes I'm like, I just don't want to, but I think my natural leadership skills shine through. So I can relate to that. I'm just not necessarily always wanting to be in that position.
I love being a quarterback. I love it, man. Even though when I played football, I was on the offensive line and defensive line, but I love being the quarterback. Quarterback's fun, man. Quarterback, you step back, your lineman is in front of you, you sitting back, looking to see who you're gonna hit. You call the huddle. Man, that's good. Sorry about that. I just had a moment right there. I love being a quarterback, man. Quarterback's fun.
Yeah.
Quarterback is fun, man. I like being in charge.
Yeah.
I do, man. I just have maybe I'm what's the word? Maurice is up in the house. What is that? What, I'm a control freak? Is that what it is? I'm a control super freak?
Sounds like it.
A little bit.
You're reliable. That's what that is. You're reliable.
Yeah. I mean, and I always feel like I always feel like if I'm in charge, it's gonna come through. Like I hate like relying on other people unless I have confidence in what they can do. Now, I'll give you an example, right? I know what you guys' skills have, right? So I know if I go to Ryan and I ask him to do the graphics, right? He's gonna come through, right? I already know it. I don't have to look over his shoulder and be like, no, move the cursor this way. You know what I'm saying? Like I know. So in that regard, I love having talented people around me who knows what they're doing. And I'm not like a micromanager. I'm not that. Like I love to just have talented people and say, go do your thing. Yeah. So that's one thing where I say I'm different is I'm not a micromanager.
But are you a spouse? Are you a partner? Or are you a manager? Are you a boss in your home? Because I think when it comes to relationships, there's no yes, there's goals, there's relationship goals, buying a house and whatnot. But there's a realm where you just don't know, right? And leadership is good example of leadership is sometimes stepping back and letting someone that is more capable in the situation to be able to step up and do what they got to do. Because I was a manager. I used to manage, a lot of people. And there are just people that were more experienced than I was in a lot of areas. And I always surrounded myself. And even to this day, I have my mentors. I surround myself with a lot of smarter people. And I'm okay with taking a step back if someone is more capable. And sometimes in certain areas, like let's say decorating the house, if my partner wants to take control and wants to lead in that because she has a vision, or maybe she wants to talk about finance. Maybe she knows more about investing. Having her input, if she has more experience, then, let her take lead. I think some guys, I was watching this dude on, he was this young guy and he had this cocky look on his face and he's talking and he's just like 21, 22 talking whatever he was saying. But it's like some guys just think they have to assume this role of leadership, and it's like a hyper masculine vibe to it, and it really comes off wrong. It because some people are just not experienced. Sometimes you just you can't be a leader in a lot of situations. And then also I went to therapy last year when I was in a relationship, and therapy don't work that way. Therapy is someone's in the middle, you got two people, both have different sides of the story, and you have to just respect their side of the story. And I think us men have been bred to just believe that our rule is correct and it's right, when sometimes it's not. And I don't want, like, personally, I am not the one to be I don't ever want to be on a ship driving and having it burn to the ground or to
Wait a
sink.
minute. Let me clarify. I want to get back to the other port alive. I'm just saying, if it is going to go in the iceberg, fuck it, I'll drive the ship.
Yeah.
That's all.
But I don't want a crashing ship. You know what
I don't
I mean?
want to
And
crash either. But if
think
a
crashing ship is because someone wasn't listening to someone somewhere along the line. And I think that it really matters that and you have a good collective of the people, because you're talking about, well, I'm a graphic designer, but you're a woman. She may be working at Chipotle.
No, that's not.
Again, please, Brian, what was that about? She says she's a graphic designer, but she's a woman. What exactly did that mean?
Oh no, sorry. Let me rephrase. Like, she may not be, like you said. I'm a like Kente's like, well, you're a graphic designer, but I'm like, what if she works at Chipotle? Like, what if she doesn't have the necessary skills for you to be able to know and trust in what you have to in a relationship? You have to trust.
Okay, I'm glad you said that, because my wife is gonna have them skills. Because I'm not gonna marry a woman without them skills. So it's not even, if I don't see the skills, it ain't happening, Captain. So that's one. Two is, I do believe we all got to play our parts. So me as the husband, I'm playing my part, right? Quarterback. She playing her part, right? So, whatever my part is, I'm gonna play it to 100%. And the woman I'm marrying, she's gonna play her part as well. And together we're gonna form like Voltron. So we're gonna have, that's how you build an empire with your woman. You build an empire by you combining her skills, your skills together, and you make an empire. And that's what I want. I'm in empire building. I don't want just a woman, right? I don't want just any kind of woman.
Queen.
I want a mother and queen.
Can I ask you a question, though, Kente?
Sure.
Not that this is a counter
I'm not
narrative.
asking anything right now because I'm a little faded.
Yeah, it's all good. When it comes now, if you got into a car accident and you no longer are the sole provider, you're in the bed, and now your wife has to step up and she has to take lead.
Okay.
What's that going to do to your confidence? Because obviously your confidence is derived from being in a place of control and being able to lead the family. But what if you're put in situations where you no longer can lead? That eats up a man's ego, because there's a lot of men that get violent and abusive towards women when they no longer feel like they have control. A woman makes more money than he does or whatever. And guys will then be passive aggressive and go out and cheat because they want to feel like they're in control again. So
look,
could you be put
in my bed, but I'm cheating?
No. Like, I mean, like, I'm just giving a scenario.
Man, I'd be an asshole, boy. I can't even move. If
but I mean, like, but I changed it. What I said is, like, you're in a situation where you lose control. Like, you could be in the bed and be disrespectful or whatever, or you could be just, you lost your job or something happened where you no longer have that. There's that dynamic does not exist. That's where I think a lot of relationships fail. Because you've maintained that status as alpha dog.
That Tyler Perry movie that he just put out on Netflix, where the guy, I've only seen this clip where the guy's like a jerk and he's like, ashtray, bitch. That's the only funny thing Tyler Perry's ever put out.
His face.
Oh my god! Y'all know what I'm talking about? It make me pull up that clip.
But answer the question, Kente. You're diverting the conversation.
No, I am not. I love this shit. Okay, I love it.
But if you're in a situation you lose control, or
Sure.
you are not, you no longer are, it's just like, your woman or your partner has to, take lead. Can you deal with that? And how long can you deal with that until you get frustrated?
I think ahead, right? So when I settle down with a woman, I'm thinking about shit like that. So I've already put this plan in place. I'm like Kaiser Soze, right? I'm like, I'm gonna have a woman that I know that I can institute Order 66. That's a Star Wars reference. And and if God forbid I'm all fucked up in the game, I can't move and stuff, Order 66, and I'll be fine. Because I have a woman has got my back. So no, I've dated women all the time that make more money than me. I have no problem with that. Because it doesn't change. Being a man is not predicated on anybody else. It's predicated on yourself. So if I'm fucked up in the game, I'm gonna feel some kind of way, because of course, if I can't move and shit, yeah, I'm gonna be fucked up, and it's gonna be a mental struggle. But if I'm smart, the woman I marry, she's gonna be so well thought out, that if a woman really fucks with you, like I'm talking about, like she really cares about you, she's just happy you alive, right? She's happy you alive. She don't want you dead. Yeah, she understands I'm not the dude I was, but we're gonna work it out. So that's when the love gets stronger, because it's easy to love me in my current status. It's easy to love Kente, but can you love Kente and all he can do is lay in the bed and eat yogurt and shit? Can you love me?
Yogurt's a healthy option because you can eat something else. So
see, that's why you gotta choose your mate.
You don't even really need to choose.
You gotta choose your mate wisely. If I choose my mate right, she gonna have my back, and even when I'm in my bed, can't move and shit, I'm gonna still be making moves from that bed.
I'm glad you said that, because I was gonna pipe in as a woman to say, if a husband and wife are in that kind of a situation, the woman shouldn't then be looking down at her man and treating him less than because of the situations that he's in. So I think we have a lot of power with our words, and we can choose to encourage him if he's feeling less than because he's in that situation. Yogurt is probiotics, helps the gut. And I think it's about the two of you as a unit, how you handle that situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it reminds me of
it's gonna be hard though.
But it reminds me of Stephen Hawkins. The man couldn't move. Still the most brilliant mind of probably our century. He was making things happen without even being able to speak a word. And garnishing respect from everybody.
You want to hear something crazy though?
And was married.
Stephen Hawkins, right? Couldn't move, barely could move his hand and shit, right?
Yeah.
Brilliant guy. He was married to his wife through the whole shit.
Yeah.
After 30 years of marriage, he fucking left her for another woman. How does that even happen?
That's some alpha male. That's alpha male.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much.
You can't even move with one finger.
Yeah.
And this fool with a straw, there's a comedian named Fahim Anwar, hilarious dude.
Oh, he's so funny.
And he has this bit about that is hilarious, where he's talking about how he did it, how like it's hilarious. Y'all gotta see that one. But anyway, no, but I hear you though. It's not gonna be easy though. It's not gonna be easy, Ryan. But like I'm gonna be upset. I'm sure I'm gonna be in my feelings. I'm gonna be emotional. I might be a jerk for a minute, but you know what? If I pick my wife right, we're gonna figure it out together.
I hear that.
Hopefully that shit never happens, but you never know in a life, right? You never know what could happen. She could be she can't move. I ain't gonna leave my wife. If I love that woman and I married her, I'll be glad she's alive. I don't care if she got 2 nubs.
But she got to pick you too. She's got to pick you too. I mean, like, you said if I pick my wife, but she has to also pick you too. Think that even in the language, it's like, you already have in your mind who you want to be with. But in reality, there's someone out there and she's not going to meet all of those. She's not going to check all those boxes. Right. And I think that, like, I guess my stance is that we just have to be flexible when it comes to humanity, and be able to ebb and flow with humanity, because we can manage Google, our Google Nest and in our series and stuff like that, but we can't manage human beings, because they're, because what you're talking about, like, even if you're in your bed, that's estate planning. That's just getting life insurance and making sure you have everything flowing. But I think we have to be flexible with ourselves, that sometimes we're not going to measure up to the ideal of what a man is supposed to be from the context of what has been established from European colonial rule. We have to be able to be flexible, because when you look back in our culture, especially Black people, women have always been we came from matriarchic societies, and women were more instrumental in a lot of affairs than they are now. So
I don't know, man. I feel like the Black community is more of a matriarchal community now than it has been in a long time.
But I mean,
there's certain African tribes where they're matriarchies versus patriarchies, right?
Yeah.
It's not all of them, but some of them.
But see, though, I feel like real dudes gotta step to the plate and step up. So
is that the alpha male in you, that the real dude's got to step to the plate? And what do you mean by step to the plate?
Look, man, I'm gonna go once again in my pops. Yesterday would have been his 89th birthday, and my pops used to say, if you see a family homeless, ain't nobody gonna see that family and go, you know what, that wife screwed it up. And that's why they homeless. It's gonna always go to the dude, the man, right? So since it comes to you, you might as well take the lead. Doesn't mean you have to be a dictator. I'm a benevolent dictator.
Yeah. But it also, I would challenge that thought in saying that.
What's up,
I don't even know why you're entertaining it, Ryan.
I have a question.
I'll put the in dictator.
So there's nothing wrong. So if that's the case, there's nothing wrong that with a guy that's home, not doing much. They love each other, right? They came to an agreement where he's just going to stay home and do whatever he wants, right? Where she's out there working and providing for the family, right? Because this whole patriarchal system is a European construct, that's okay.
No, I never said that. What I was just going to say when Kente was talking about when you see a family on the street, based on how I view the world, when I see a family that is struggling, I see a community that has failed. Because when I went to Trinidad or when I went to Guyana, I would walk around and people would be like, Mr. Wana, because I look like my dad. They're like, Mr. Wana, Mr. Wana. Everybody knew who I was. You see, in the Caribbean community, when you go and you're walking about, a woman, if she sees your child acting up, she will go outside of her house and lick the bottom seat, right? Like, you will get cut. You cannot go far in these communities without the community stepping in and helping each other out. This society that we live in, families are just stranded. The communities don't talk to each other, they don't integrate, and they don't take care of the community as a whole. And I think that we've kind of lost those traditions in this modern day family where a man had a role outside of the community, because maybe he wasn't working, but he was protecting the community, patrolling the community, making sure that no one was robbing the houses and stuff like that.
I agree.
You know,
100%.
I think that, you know, sometimes the role, you know, I don't think it's okay for a person not to contribute to the family. But at the same time, we're generalizing. Every person's situation is a little bit different. And, you know, and some people, I was put in a situation where I could not get a job for whatever the situation was. And my girlfriend had to pay the bills. I had no choice. There was nothing I could do. I went and I applied to, you know, Home Depot. I'm an entrepreneur. This was like, you know, a few years ago, entrepreneur. I had everything. I had everything that I built, but it was just that the economy changed. Alberta was, you know, and Natasha probably understands, like the Alberta, our boom bust, right? So a lot of us were out of work and a lot of our clients couldn't pay their bills. So I was put in a situation where I had to let the woman lead. I had to let her pay. And a lot of people were looking at me
her
like,
paying isn't necessarily her leading.
Well, no, it's not even, it's not even that. It's that I think that I was put in a situation where, you know, things had changed. So people looked at me from the outside in saying, oh, well, how come you didn't get a job? And how come you're not doing this? And how come you're not doing that? And people can criticize, but you know, those dynamics.
Brother, I'm not criticizing you, man.
Oh, no. I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying that there's every situation is different.
I've gone through, okay, I'm gonna be real. Okay. I've gone through some broke times. You know, I'm talking about, you ever go through your old jackets hoping you find some money? You're like, and you find like $3 and you're like, Jesus, thank you. You know, or you go through your sofa cushions and you're like, and you find like 75 cents and you like, thank you, Lord. Yeah. Okay, I've gone through some broke times. Okay. Was it because I was a scrub? No. It was just tough times. I lost a gig. You know, the economy was funny. You know what I'm saying? Waiting for that next paycheck to come in. You know, that was the big thing was, you know, you get paid like once a month or something. And then, you know, like you got to make that money hold out. You know what I'm saying? So that next check come through. Yeah. It's like being working broke is the worst. When or then you ever have a check, a nice size check, right? And then when it comes in, it's already spoken for.
Yeah.
It already got a home. So you have like, you know, $2-3 grand, whatever it is. And you just like, it's just going out. So I understand, man. And it's tough. But what I'm saying is, I'm still going to be that dude though. You know what I'm saying? I'm still going to be that dude. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to do what I got to do, but I'm still going to be that dude. Mm-hmm. And so whether I'm broke, I can be broke in alpha as well. I haven't been broke for a while, but I think I could be a broke alpha.
Well, I think the goal is, even if it's, because like the truth of the matter is, and I take it, Natasha, you're from Canada, right?
Yeah.
All right. In America, the black female makes more than the black male.
Oh, right? Yeah, big time.
Black women are more educated, the top educated demographic in America, which means that it gives them opportunities to earn more income. Yeah, where, you know, black men aren't as educated, so they have less opportunities to work in certain fields that would allow them to have a good income. And they take away a lot of the trade in school, so men aren't graduating high school with a skill anymore. They're graduating with a paper, so they don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. So I was asking that to say that I don't know if women would be okay with a guy not trying to his best to provide or add to the home structure. When I said, you know, if he's not working and he just wants to stay home, is that okay? No, it's not okay. And I think for the most part, we can all agree that it's not okay. Okay, it really isn't. But if a woman was to stay home and not do anything, that would be okay, especially if the man is playing his role in the home, or the role that has been socially constructed for him to play in a home. Okay.
But I think it's as a partnership, you discuss it with your partner.
Yeah.
If a man and a woman decide hubby's going to stay at home and chill, then that's between them.
But the thing is, how long will that last, though?
How long would that
But
last?
if that's what they've agreed on, then maybe it could last for the.
Hey man, he might be piping it right.
It depends on what they agreed to.
If you piping it,
what society says are the quote unquote male and female roles, absolutely not.
And if you piping it right, you can get away with everything. So, I mean, let's be honest.
Really?
I think I'm coming from a different perspective.
I'm being honest.
Ultimately, what may happen more than likely is relationship fatigue. She's going to get tired.
But it depends how she understands it.
Yeah.
Right? If she understands it as I'm carrying him through, and then she doesn't see him making his effort, she's going to get tired. If they come to an agreement about this is what we do best, like I have a friend who's married.
Yeah.
Both her and her husband have careers, but she's the first one to admit he is a better mom than she is what she says. So if it came to it where they had to decide one stayed at home, then it makes sense that he stays at home.
Yeah.
And she can't bellyache about that if she's already said that she's not the better mom.
Yeah, but in that situation, it doesn't take away from him being the father in the home or the man in the home or doing his part to make sure that the home is taken care of. But I'm trying to see if I can formulate this better.
Well, I'm going to have a Caribbean moment. It sounds like you're trying to describe a walkless man and a one to know.
Say that again. I didn't hear you. Say that again.
Right, I can only be right.
I didn't hear what you said.
I said it sounds like you're describing a walkless, worthless man who doesn't want to do anything, and I'm like, that's totally different because
that's where I'm coming from.
And drive to be successful, whatever successful looks like, is a desired characteristic that most women want. So it doesn't have to be that we all want the corporate man. We just want a man who works hard and takes pride in what he does.
Yeah.
And does it well.
The chat room is quiet. Press 1 in the chat if you're with us. Y'all call it.
That's what I was trying to say. So what I'm saying is, for a man not to do anything and stay home while the woman does everything, all right? Because social constructing, the woman cooks, clean, take care of the kids and stuff like that. All right. I've seen marriages fall apart because both are working. But when the wife comes home, she's cooking, she's cleaning, she's taking care of the kids, she's doing the homework. The husband comes home, they work the same amount of hours. He comes home, sits on the couch, puts on the TV, and chills until the dinner's ready. And then the wife brings him the dinner. And that's what I'm saying. Like that kind of thing. So
that would cause fatigue. But then of course it would cause fatigue. You're being asked to do double the work.
But if he's
because
home
of your
not
physical
doing
construction
anything
of your body, that's nonsense.
Yeah, but if he's home not doing anything, not even that part,
Juliet is in the house.
fatigue too. So in a home, there has to be a balance in the home. Roles have to be outlined, and we have to say, I'm going to do this, you're going to do this. Let's work together to make this happen. Whether or not the woman makes more, or the father or the husband makes more. All right.
Yeah, okay.
Got to come together to make sure that the family dynamic is working for you guys. All right.
But I think the fatigue comes in from separate from what society says are the roles, because not everybody buys that. Like, I don't love cooking. I will do it because I have to. But if I marry a man who loves to cook, by all means cook, and screw what society says about.
Wait a minute, you are like a 5-star chef.
Is where we have expectations that are not met. Mm-hmm. And if there's a gross imbalance in the amount of work being done, if we're both working outside of the home, and then the expectation is that one does 90% of the work in the home, who wouldn't be fatigued by that? No matter what norm or like role you're following into, that just makes sense, right?
Wait a minute, you're a 5-star chef. What you talking about?
I don't like. Listen, I'm baking is where my heart's at, but you can't live on baked goods.
I don't know. It depends on what
I think. Can I say something? Like, culturally, my grandma, my grandma and my mom, but especially my grandma, taught me how to iron, cook, and all that stuff. Gave me all the recipes, Trini recipes, so I could survive on my own. I think that like I've always been a person that, that just provided equal balance in a relationship, because it just culturally, it's just frowned upon for you to be lazy. You know what I mean? Because my grandma would be like, man, you're so nasty. You don't clean. You don't do this. You don't that. And she's like, hi, she'll come in. How can you let her clean up the this and this and this, and you're not doing anything? So, culturally, it's just frowned upon for you not to clean and not to make your bed and not to take a shower, not to, to handle your business. And I think that I think that when it comes to relationships, marriages especially, they're partnerships. Regardless, you're running a business. It's kind of like a business, but you are running a function, and two people have to function in order for things to, because something's going to happen. It's either the kids are not going to get what they want. It's either the spouse is not going to get what they want. It's either you're not getting what you want, and there's no balance. And that's why, I would recommend couples therapy if people can get it, or talk to your pastor. But you have to sometimes be able to sit down and review the goals, because you came in with goals, you came in with a vision, you came in with an idea, but as life happens, things shift. COVID happened, and that totally shifted the balance, right? But I think that, it goes back to communication. If partners are not communicating with each other on what is important in the relationship, that's where a lot of relationships kind of fall apart. So if a guy is staying at home, I don't know these type of men personally, but if I was staying at home doing nothing, I would be cleaning the floors. I'd be wiping the walls. I'd be washing the dishes. I would be making food, because I would feel really bad that someone had to work all day long, come home, and then have to do all that additional work. That's abuse.
Don't you
right?
think conversely, though, a man would be agitated by a woman who stayed at home and did diddly squat?
I was in that situation.
Shame.
That was actually what I was going to say. So you're basically saying any woman that if she doesn't work and she's in a relationship with a guy, if she doesn't wash the walls, make the food, would you say
clean the floors
with the toothbrush, you said, right?
Yeah.
Let it be hers though. Don't use my toothbrush.
No, we got those vacuums, those bristle ones. Now my grandma brought it by. She's like, yeah, I don't clean the floors on my hands and knees anymore. She uses the vacuum with the water and stuff. So yeah, you don't have to use a toothbrush anymore.
Yeah. You want to read your homegirl's
Well, she said society is growing dependent men. It's like the parents just passes them on to women to continue mothering them, which is a problem. And that's not 100%, but we see it, and it's annoying and it's stupid.
big time. But I don't know. Like I'm a big believer in gender roles, as y'all know. I believe in gender roles. I believe as a man, we do have roles that we need to fulfill in our relationship. I'll give you a great example. So, Natasha, it's late at night and you're in bed with your man. And then you hear something bump downstairs in the night. If he reaches over, grabs the bat, and then hands it to you and say, baby,
can you go check on that?
How are you gonna feel about that?
I would probably be frustrated, but I tend to walk with some traditional values. But again, I know how I feel as a woman, so I need to make sure that whatever partnership I end up in, we have dialogue about what makes sense to us. I don't think it's about what society tells you should be. I think in your partnership, y'all figure it out and make it work for you guys. So if you are more traditional, then be more traditional and get somebody who's traditional. If you're not, if you're more, 2020, then partner with somebody who that works well with. I don't think we should, it's as much about what society says the women should do and what society says the men should do. I think you should have a general understanding about what you guys do in your relationship. I grew up in a household where it was fairly traditional. Both my parents were working until my mom was ill, but my mom was the one who did more of the stuff in the house. But when she got to the point where she was so ill that she couldn't do anything, thank goodness my dad wasn't the type of man who's like, I'm a man and I don't do that. He just picked up so that he could make sure that things were done. He took care of his wife. He took care of his children. You have to be able to have some balance and step in where things need to, so that things aren't left.
Jerry,
I know somebody, a couple, married couple, who whose wife is a cop.
oh,
Right. And if that situation was to happen, and she's an armed officer of the law, he's still the one going downstairs to check.
me too.
Like he's not telling her, get your gun and go see who's downstairs.
Right.
You know,
She could be Bruce Lee's granddaughter.
He's going to be like, you keep the gun here. If they get past me, blow their brains out. But let me go see who it is.
Right. It could be Bruce Lee's granddaughter.
Yeah.
And I'm still going to do it. I'm not going to be like, hey, girl.
Layla Ali could be my wife.
Right.
And I'm like, Layla, stay here.
Go down there and float like a
I
butterfly.
got this.
All right. Jerry says, you're talking about relationships in 2020, roughly 25 years into Hollywood social, what's that word? Politicking. Oh, my bad. Can't read. I'm 53 years old and just looking for a woman to have fun with. If I can leave my spot with her in it and come back to all of my shit still there, I've got a good one. Hilarious. Amen to that, my brother. Amen to that.
Did you see what Juliet said? She says, I'll tell my man to get his ass back in bed so we can both get into the panic room because the break-in could be the cops.
Hilarious.
She has her planned panic room.
Man, I'm just saying though, like, there's certain situations where I feel like a man has to be the man, whatever that means, whatever you want to say that means. I just believe in that. You could say I'm a caveman. You could say I'm 1952. Whatever you want to say, that's who I am. Maybe I'm giant breed.
There's nothing wrong with that, Kinty. You just need to be partnered with someone who holds a similar value of what a man is. Because if you get with somebody who has a very different concept of what a man is, you're going to be butting heads on what it looks like to be male.
Oh no, I'm not worried about that. I feel like I'm such a leader. She'll just come. No, I'm just playing. Let me shut up.
Fall in place.
I was gonna try to say what it's place. I couldn't even finish the sentence. I was about to say a joke. Calm down, ladies. Calm down. I was about to say a joke because y'all be getting too upset, boy. No, but I feel like, look, man, I'm that dude, But let me ask this question. Sometimes that alpha male tendencies that some of us might have by the wrong woman can be actually used as a weapon to get you effed up in the game. And I'll explain. So we'll say Ryan is that dude, right? He's a martial artist, right? Ryan chews glass, right? And he kicks ass, right? And his woman knows that shit. She knows that he's the human tornado. So you're at the let me think what Canadians do at the Renaissance Fair, open air farmers market.
Renaissance fairs in Canada. At least he lives
you're at the tomato season opening.
You ain't know nothing about Canada,
right? So he's there with his lady, right? And his lady. So you go over, you looking at Roma tomatoes, and then she goes over and look at what's another?
Hot house.
Huh?
Hot house is another type of tomato.
There you go.
Or field.
And then she gets into it with a guy, right? And it's her fault. We'll say it's her fault. Mm-hmm. Well, she knows she got the human tornado. So some chicks will be like, oh yeah, my boyfriend will you up. He's right there.
That's when you say, Ryan, no habla español. No habla español.
Now Ryan is now put in the position is he gonna karatecize his ass? Because that's his lady, right? He got to stand up for his lady. Or is he gonna be like, look, that's you and his problem. I'm getting these Roman tomatoes, you know.
You realize that like things are changing. Everything can be recorded on camera, and
Right.
I think the worst hurt that you can do to somebody is just to whip out your camera and put them on blast. I think that I've always been taught the best block is not to be there, not to put yourself in a situation where there's a conflict. That's the first thing that you learn. My sensei always tells me that. What's your best block? Not to be there. Don't put yourself in a situation where there's casualty. Because the difference between Canada and US especially, we don't bear arms. That's one thing. And the other thing too is that we our assault laws are real. Like, if you get into an assault, you're going to jail. So, you can't just go and whoop somebody because there is fighting words, fighting words. If you look it up in the legal lexicon in the States, I know that there's fighting words because you can incite someone to violence by saying something that is
the N-word a fighting word?
Is a fighting word, yeah.
Okay.
In certain places, not in Georgia yet.
What about cunt?
Yeah.
Is that a fighting word, cunt?
Hey, Kente, I know this is your show, but don't say that word.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you.
Dre's being alpha right now. He's taking control of the show, and he's telling you got
if you're calling someone that word. I'm not calling nobody that word.
Well, the C word. But I to be honest, is that I think that if she's that type of person that would put me and put my life in danger like that, she's not someone that I would be personally having as a friend or as someone, because she's just starting problems. And the casualty is that someone's going to get hurt, and I don't want the other person to get hurt. Okay. I don't want to get hurt, and I don't want her to get hurt.
What if it's a situation where all of a sudden you just look up and you see this guy from a distance yelling at your lady? So
I'm going over there.
You're gonna go over there.
Of course.
How big you are.
But you don't even know you didn't already threaten him with your violence. So now he's like, oh, this the clown that's gonna beat me up.
See, my wife is already gonna know that I'm about peace. Like, me and homeboy are gonna sit down, we're gonna talk about it. Like, so what happened here? Like, I'm like, calm down. What happened here? All right, let's talk about it. Let me buy you a water. Have a seat. Let's talk. What happened here?
Listen,
I said that to
I was
you?
in a situation like that when I was in university. So I was probably 20 at the time. So, years ago.
2 years ago.
And we were outside a club, and this dude was leaning on my car. So I went and I confronted him, and he got in my face, grabbed my hand, and he had his other hand slightly behind his back. And I thought maybe he had a knife. So I started yelling, saying, like, I don't know if this guy's got a knife. Like, I don't know him. Let me go. And my boyfriend just had to walk up. And the minute somebody showed presence, he ran like a little chicken. So I didn't have to say my big ass boyfriend's going to fight you. Nothing. The minute somebody showed presence, he was gone.
Okay.
And I don't have to brag about what my man was going to do.
That's good. That's good. Because, there's a lot of guys that got killed over that stuff. Getting, I had a girlfriend. I had a girlfriend lie on me to her brother. Said I had hit her. Now, I ain't never hit a woman in my life. The only time I've hit a female, I was in like 3rd grade, and I liked her. And that's the way I showed it.
That
don't count, right? That don't count, right?
I hope you got some new games since grade 3.
Yeah. I hit her because I liked her, and I didn't know how to show it. So, but she forgave me. She forgave me for that. But that's the only time I've ever hit a woman, right? But this girl I had been seeing when I was in my 20s had lied to her brother and said that I had hit her. So I'm at a gas station. And mind you, I don't even know that this lie has been told on me. And brother was driving by. Now, me and him was cool, before that. And I see him. I'm like, oh, what's up? I see him. And he went to the gas station and confronted me. Right. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I don't know where this is coming from. Right. So he actually told me like, you hit my sister. I'm like, what? I said, my sister said you hit me, you know. Now my thing is I respect him for looking out for his sister because what you're supposed to do as a brother. But he got bad information.
Yeah.
So I let him know. I said, look, man, we can settle this with words. I ain't never hit your sister, but I gotta protect myself. So your sister's gonna get your ass whooped. So you know your sister. And we talked about it. And she eventually admitted she lied. She was mad at me or something shit. Right?
You broke up with her after that.
Oh my God, yes. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Man, I like loyalty. And but you know what I'm saying? But think about it. What if I couldn't reach him? One of us could have got killed over that crap. You know what I'm saying? And it would have been on some false shit. You know what I mean? You know, and I mean he would have been the one that got killed, but you know, but like I said, I had respect for him that he was looking out for his sister, even though it was, you know, he was wrong. And as far as the information he got, but I ain't, you know, like I said, I don't hit women. I don't need to do that. You know what I mean? So that's just a situation where, and it wasn't her boyfriend, but she got her brother to be on some so-called alpha male diesel type stuff and sending him to his death potentially. You know, I've had it as a coach teaching kids play football. Right. I've had a mother tell her boyfriend, because I wasn't giving the kid time because he was acting up. We have a rule. The rule is if you act up, you can't play the next game. That's just what it is. So she said she was going to have her boyfriend F me up. And he came back too. Right? He thought he was going to jump me, right? But he don't know though. Not only what I would have handled him, but the other coaches were standing around. They were just kind of acting like they weren't. He would have got gang beat down by the coaches because we're not gonna let nobody do that to each other. So, but we were able to talk though. Like I said, I respected him because he was doing what he thought was right. But you know what I'm saying. But a lot of guys don't think like that.
Dialogue because it could have gotten a lot worse very quickly. He could have approached with violence without even speaking, and then what would have happened? Well,
I didn't know she had threatened me. So when I saw them coming back, when I saw her with him, I said, "Oh, this must be the boyfriend." So I was on guard right there. And like I said, I'll talk to you because I respect the fact that you're looking out for your lady.
Juliet.
Well, you got bad information. Say it.
Right.
Oh my God.
Hilarious. But you touch me. I don't care if you got bad information. We're gonna have to fight.
Yeah, I'm going to head off now, but I'm going to be in the chat. All right.
All right. But
Peace, brother. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, man. But my sensei is Ryan, so I learned all my martial arts from Ryan. Okay, I don't know martial arts, but
But yeah, a lot of martial arts is not fighting.
The art of fighting without fighting.
Control.
It's the art of fighting without fighting.
It's being able to diffuse the situation. There's also social distancing is a new thing, but in martial arts, it's just called distance, personal space. You don't get up in arm's length. You don't get into my personal space. Once you're in my personal space, we have a problem. You know what I mean? So I think that I either move out, but you don't get into people's space. So you just know, you could just tell by certain individuals, by certain situations, what kind of issues that they're going to bring. You have to survey the room. You got to survey what you're doing, and you put yourself in a situation where you're in control. And if you can't leave the situation, then you fight.
But check this out. Me and Ryan, when I go to Canada, me and Ryan, we're gonna go to that tomato festival. And then all of a sudden Ryan's gonna hear my homeboy is gonna F you up.
Over tomatoes.
Yeah. But the whole thing is just, it's like, it's not like, I'm not a UFC fighter, right? Like, I'm not like, I don't think I would win in every situation. I just think that I just know that what my job is just to protect. But protection is not always fighting. Protection. Fuck a ninja, then run like a fucking ninja up.
Oh, there he is. Oh man, you on a roll.
You're not always going to win in situations.
Yeah.
You're not going to win in every situation, but you should be able, like, protection is not just protection is also going back to what Natasha said earlier. Is like having discourse about if someone breaks into your home. You know what I mean? What do you do in situations if someone tries to break in? Do you have cameras? Do you have, it's a planning. Like a lot of the things that you're talking about all require planning. It require two people to sit down and have a discussion on what we're going to do it when and where. It's being prepared, and in situations where you're not prepared, then you fight as hell and you diffuse the situation so that you can call the cops or you can find safety. But, a lot of us don't know how to have that discourse. And that's why a lot of people get into a lot of problems, is because they feel like they have to uphold this role. And, sometimes people get ass whooped. For me personally, I don't want to be out because I run two businesses and I have a lot of people that depend on me, so I don't want to lay somebody out and have to deal with the cops and have to sit there. Like, there's just so many reasons why I don't want to get in a fight.
I don't want to because I'm too old right now. I might hurt my back throwing the punch.
Yeah.
And
you might hurt your back thinking about the punch.
Right. Pretty much. So
based on that alone, Kente, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No.
Based on that alone, that's why you need to be humble. Like Kendrick Lamar said, be humble. You don't always got to be a leader. You don't always got to show up.
Julia.
She's funny.
Julia's killing me. That's why I got to keep her on my good side. This is not a girl to piss off.
That's funny, man. No, I agree with you, man. I like, hey, man, at this age, I ain't trying to, I'm not trying to be out there in them streets fighting people or even at home, so
stay away from them young girls. Stay away from them young girls because they're going to bring you problems.
I don't know, man. They also bring you, let me shut up. Let me shut up.
You don't finish your sentence.
Let me shut up because y'all gonna be saying I'm tripping. But no, I
like to be surprised. It's predictable what you were gonna say.
I don't know. I could be saying they bring the Holy Ghost.
Yeah, whatever. Don't even try and play now and change it up.
Look, man, all I do these days, I read from my Bible app. Okay. That's all I do these days is read from my Bible app. Okay, so actually, I'm about to start a prayer chain. So anybody that wants to join and Bible study, we're gonna do Bible study every third Thursday. So if anybody wants to be in the Bible study, let me know. I'm leading it because I gotta lead shit. So. I gotta lead stuff.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that sounds real Bible.
I'm working on it. Okay, I'm working on it. But no, for real, we're gonna do Bible study, man. We're gonna do Bible study. We're gonna get to the meat and bones of everything. You don't have the double. Actually, you know what? Let me pull out my phone. I'm gonna show you how Christian I am. Let me charge this bad boy.
Having a Bible app proves you're Christian?
No, she said I don't have it downloaded. Wait, let me. Hopefully, it is downloaded.
Having it downloaded don't prove you use it.
I use it.
Night, Juliet.
I guess this discussion is over. Night.
But no, but for real though, man, I'm for real with this. You know what I'm saying?
The conversation certainly took a turn, that's for sure.
I'm just saying, are you going to be a part of
Pastor Kinte? Are you Brother Kinte, Deacon Kinte, Elder Kinte?
I'm on
Prophet
the way.
Kinte.
I
He's-
am.
He's Alpha Kinte.
There you go.
Alpha
Listen,
dog.
don't feed his ego.
No, I'm just, it is what it is, But I'm just saying, though, I feel like this was a great conversation. Thank you, Tasha.
No problem. Thanks for having it. After
That
I
was a good one.
suggested that, I mean, it went in all kinds of ways, but
Yeah, it was a great conversation. I love it.
Yeah.
So,
my challenge is next time you stay by yourself.
okay. I mean, I'll be by myself till I'm not by myself.
I want to see you do a solely unsaintly kid. Juliet, okay, drop the mic. I'm done with Juliet.
I'm saying I'm gonna do I'll do that like in the middle of the day or something. I'll do like a 20-30 minute thing where it's just me. All right. We'll do that. It'll be like a middle of the day type thing. I'm gonna do it from my church's parking lot.
To prove you have a church, like
Yes. And so let me see. All right.
it is getting late.
Look at
Ryan,
that.
what time is it?
Look at that. Look at that.
What's your time
It's
zone?
It's 9. I'm Mountain Standard Time. 9:25.
Oh yeah, see, it's bedtime over here. It's 11:25.
11:25.
So, and those who doubted my Christianity, they're wrong. Thank you. You saw that ad.
I want you to go to First Jebediah.
Second Revelations. Oh my God! One of the sons of Eli. Hilarious. But since y'all want to doubt my Christian, I don't know. So, Natasha, when is your show?
I am live Tuesdays at 8 Eastern Standard Time through Facebook or Get Vocal. Sometimes on Instagram, but always Facebook and Get Vocal. And my page is Natasha Halliday, Resilient Me. Natasha A. Halliday, sorry, Resilient Me. And I'm on Instagram at Natasha A. Halliday. You're going to ask, so I might as well just say.
You know what?
I get used to your format.
You need to add another middle name.
A is my middle initial.
No, you need to add another. You need to add two.
Why?
One that starts with an I and starts with an S.
One that starts with an I and starts with an S.
Natasha.
What am I missing? Something went right over my head.
Is a holiday.
Huh?
I-S.
Is
holiday.
a holiday.
Oh. Okay, Kinte, I'm really doubting your comedic skills right now, okay?
Whatever, man. I'm your favorite comedian's favorite comedian.
I've yet to
I'm
see
your favorite.
so
I'm your favorite comedian's favorite comedian.
Okay, Ryan, so where can people find you? Because we're just going to move this right along. Oh my
God. You can find me at I don't know where you can find me right now. I'm lost.
Well, help get yourself found through Kinte's Bible study, okay? And then you'll find your way.
I'm lost. You can find me at Hustle Zone TV on Instagram, Hustle Zone. Folks, we're trying to raise money to build our media outlet and also produce the world's first living documentary. So you can find me at gofundme.com/F/Hustle Zone TV. Even if you got $2, $5, $10, instead of giving it to Deacon Kinte for his service, you can drop it in our bucket.
You know what? I'm gonna pass the collection plate next time I do a show. The digital collection plate. All right.
Yeah, I like that idea. For live streams, we should have a collection plate. You know, a plate that goes right underneath. You know,
I like that too. Yeah.
For churches now, you text "give" in the amount, or there's a give a flyer, give a something. I gotta remember what I saw the other day when I was watching church online.
I remember I was
in an app.
There's a church that I watch their services from Houston, and yeah, you with the app, you click give, and then it takes you to a text message. We have reached booty call hour or witchcraft hour. And you just text give and the amount of money you want to give.
Wow. Because now they can
set it up though. I had to set it up, right? So
now they're keeping tabs on people.
Since it's COVID and it's a church online, I might as well pick a church that resonates with me. It don't have to be anywhere near my house because it's online.
Wow. They're about that money.
I remember the first time I seen a ATM in a church, I was blown away.
I used to do the ATM in my old church. It's interesting. Oh, wow. But hey, churches got to move with the times too, man.
Yeah, and church.
I remember going to a church where they had to have unarmed, what's it called, non-uniform police because of the amount of theft that was going on at the front where people would steal people's collection.
Wow.
So I went to a church where you would put it at the front of the altar and people would go put down their $5 and take up more money. So they had to have police.
What, in a church? That's crazy.
Hey, listen, they're there to try to find Jesus. It doesn't mean they found him yet.
Hilarious. All right, you can get me at Kente F on Twitter. Kente Ferguson on Instagram, and indyradio.org. INDYradio.org is the site. I just want to say I'm gonna do some more streaming this week. So I just want y'all to know I love you guys. Stay safe, and remember, gender roles are important.
Good night. Good to see you, Ryan.